The day I realized I could end my suffering, and what I chose instead. I was sitting in my living room on what felt like the worst day of my life, when I had a realization that completely changed everything, but probably not how you would expect. It gave me back my power when I felt like I had none. If you have ever felt completely lost, even though you have tried everything to feel better, then this story is for you. Let me paint you a picture of where I was. My computer hard drive was a wasteland of self help books and lectures of promised transformations. I had read countless self help books, attended lectures by various spiritual teachers, even completed this week long fasting retreat that was supposed to be life changing. You know, the person who's always looking for the next best technique, the next teacher, always convinced that this time, this new method is gonna be the one that finally makes it all click. That was me. But despite all of this seeking, learning, and trying, I still felt miserable, empty. I felt worse than before I had started any of this seeking. All these teachers were promising this effortless, enlightened life, and I'm over here feeling more lost than ever. I remember sitting there that afternoon, and the sunlight coming through my window just felt cruel, like it was mocking me. Here's all this life and joy around me, and I couldn't feel any of it. Never had. I was sitting there, tears in my eyes, just staring at nothing, contemplating the void I felt inside, when a realization hit me. It was so clear, so sudden. I can end this misery. I could just leave. Because honestly, life didn't feel worth living anymore. I wasn't willing to keep going like this. Now, I know that sounds dark, and it was. But as dark as that realization was, it was also liberating. Suddenly, I had a choice. I was no longer powerless. It felt like this dam just broke inside me. After months of feeling completely powerless, suddenly I had agency over my own experience. For the first time in years, I had a choice. And having that choice, the ultimate choice, was actually freeing. I chose to stay. I chose to see if I could actually change myself, to really transform myself from the inside out. I picked up a journal that had collected dust for months, and I wrote a question across the top of a blank page. Could I feel better, happier, lighter, less guilty, more joyful, just by changing how I see myself? I started small, really small, just writing in a journal for a couple of minutes each day, asking myself who I wanted to become. Most days I had no clue, but I kept showing up. That became my thing, my only focus. Because here's what I realized: all these teachers I had been following, they've got the same stuff to work with I do, right? A mind, imagination, willpower. So why can't I figure this out for myself? Even if all this manifestation and creating your own reality was complete bullshit, if I could just change how I felt day to day, that would be enough. Look, I'm not gonna sugarcoat it. Those dark periods came back. A lot. Progress was slow as hell. Really, I had no clue what I was doing. And my self concept was so terrible that any little change took forever. But something was different now. I wasn't looking outside myself for someone to save me anymore. I had finally accepted that this was my job. Here's what I discovered, and I wish someone had told me this years ago. Those dark moments, those filled with self doubt and loathing, they're not proof that you're broken. They're often exactly what you need: a catalyst to finally take your power back. Sometimes, oftentimes, we need to reach the lowest point to actually decide to change. Every single technique I had collected, every teacher I had followed, they were all trying to give me something I already had. I just didn't know how to access it. my own inner guidance, my own power to change. The real work was never out there, it was always within. I just had to stop running from it. If you're watching this thinking, man, that sounds like me. If you have tried everything and you're still stuck, you need to hear this. You're not broken. You're not behind or doing it wrong. You're exactly where you need to be to make the same choice I made that day. To stop looking outside yourself, to go within, to trust that you've already got everything you need inside you. So, over the next few weeks, I'm going to share exactly how I learned to tap into that inner guidance. There's this technique called the inner garden method that completely changed the game for me. If you want to catch those videos, just hit subscribe. And if you're ready to start right now, I've created a free email course on how to tap into your inner guidance. You can grab that link in the description below. Remember, everything you're looking for is already within you. You just got to learn how to access it. I'll see you in the next video, where I'll share the embarrassing moment when I realized I could teach self-help techniques, but I couldn't actually change my own life. It's a good one. See you then.